Before getting into what I'm doing in this episode, I want to take a moment to explain what happened off camera. After the first two episodes, I spent a good amount of time mining to get properly geared up. That included gathering resources, upgrading my tools, and expanding my backpack so I could carry more items. I did not include that footage in the video because it was mostly repetitive mining and there wasn't much happening that would be interesting to watch. While I was doing some preparation, I also went back to explore the airships that I spotted in the first episode. I wanted to follow up on that since it was something I did not get to fully explore at the time. I spent some time looting those airships, collecting resources and items that will be useful later on, and then I made my way back to focus on more long term goals. At this point, I felt like I was in a good position to slow things down and start working on something more permanent. That's where building comes in. Building is a really important part of Minecraft. It's what turns the world from something temporary into something that feels lived in. Instead of just surviving day to day, building gives you a place to return to and improve over time. I do want to be clear though, building is not something I'm particularly good at. It's one of the parts of the game that I've always struggled with the most. I can manage exploration, progression, and resource gathering without too many issues, but when it comes to designing structures and making them look good, that's still something I'm actively trying to learn. The build I'm starting here is meant to be a round shaped house, inspired by the Hobbit houses from The Hobbit. I'm not trying to recreate anything exactly, but I like the idea of a small, cozy circular home that feels natural and fits into the terrain. Round builds are a bit more challenging in Minecraft because of the block based nature of the game, but I think they look really good when they're done well. I'm keeping the design fairly simple. The goal here isn't to build something massive or overly detailed, but rather to create a functional base that also looks intentional. I want it to feel like a proper starting home that I can expand on or improve later as the world progresses. I also want to talk briefly about Lightmatica. I'm not using it for this build, but based on my past experience, it's a really helpful mod for learning how to build. When I was starting out, using Lightmatica helped me understand how shapes, proportions, and layouts work in Minecraft. Being able to see a structure as a visual guide makes it much easier to break down what actually makes a build look good. Even though I'm not using Lightmatica here, the experience I had with it in the past has carried over. It helped me recognize patterns, understand block placement, and think more intentionally about how builds come together. For anyone who wants to improve their building skills, especially as a beginner, I think it's a great tool and I would recommend based on my own experience. Over time, even without focusing specifically on building, I've picked up a few techniques just by playing the game. Things like using block variation instead of a single material, shaping walls and roofs in a less flat way, and paying attention to how a build fits into the surrounding environment. These are small things, but they make a noticeable difference. I'm still learning and I don't expect this build to be perfect. The main goal here is improvement. Each time I build something new, I try to apply what I've learned before and slowly get better. That process is a big part of what keeps Minecraft interesting over long periods of time. So for now, I'll continue working on this house, refining the shape, adding details, and adjusting things as needed. This is going to be a gradual process rather than something that gets finished all at once, and I'm okay with that. So that's what I'll be focusing on in this episode. Continue the build, slowly turning this area into a more permanent base.